in your opinion, is it okay to still be a junior developer for several years, or do you think that a junior developer should evolve into a senior developer? Does that happen automatically, naturally, or should there be a time when they reassess where they are and they have to go, right, I need to up my game to be a senior developer? What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's more with your kind of your own personal progression, because everyone is going to progress differently. We're all, as I've already said, we all still are learning. No matter what level we are, we're all still learning something new. And so I think it depends on that conversation that you're having with your manager. So if you're starting as a junior, it depends on how you progress and where they see you progressing and the rate you progress. If it takes a year, 2 year, 5 years to become a senior from a junior, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I don't think there should be any rush to a senior level job. I mean, yes, money is great if you can get it, but I mean, I'm doing this because I enjoy what I'm doing, not really for the money. I mean, I took a pay decrease coming from my old job that I left to here to become a junior web developer, and so that was a risk, but I'm now doing something that I enjoy, and I think it's more about your enjoyability than money at the end of the day and level.
I like that answer. That's a very nice answer. I think I totally agree with you, and it's very weird that there is just these two levels, senior and junior, because once you're a senior, I mean, whatever you class that as, where is the next route of progression? Personally, I think that it's okay to still be a junior for a long time, because it's what you want to label yourself as, and it's what you want other developers to label yourself out. There's kind of like an expectation when you are a senior that there are things that you should be aware of and experiences that you should have had, and not all positions allow for that. So for example, have you had any experience talking to a client in web development, like over the phone or going to a meeting and all of that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I've dealt with a few, over email a lot of the time. I've had a few calls with clients. There was a bug the other day that we were going back and forth over on an email, and to be honest, it was just a lot easier just to get on the phone and talk it out, because you can lose communication through email, and so I think it was easier just to pick up the phone, have a chat about what we wanted, what they wanted, and it was a lot easier. Or just book in a meeting and do a face-to-face and just literally go and have a chat. Well,
in some places that I'm aware of, that would be a responsibility of the senior devs or the senior, sort of like the project owners, if you will, and the junior developers would perhaps be doing maintenance or some sort of bug checking or whatever, and not actually having the interaction with the clients. So it's very different from. So the point I'm trying to make is that it's very different in different organizations. This whole label thing, junior and senior. Of course, you've got different levels of architects as well. And the bigger the company, the more broader the spectrum is. I guess in smaller companies, lots of people, lots of developers wear lots of different hats, and they become, in my opinion, very sort of experienced extremely quickly, because they're having to deal with all of these different things, like talking to clients and understanding the client's needs, their business needs, trying to replicate bugs, and trying to reassure clients as well, and also carry the brand of the digital agency that you're currently working for with them. I mean, these are all things that you don't necessarily give someone on their first day.
True, that is very true. I think it is true what you say. I think it is very different to different agencies, how they're going to run themselves and what juniors and seniors and all developers do. I think it's about communication. My manager was like, are you okay speaking to a client on this? And I'm being from a call center background, I'm happy to speak to anyone really. So I was like, that's fine. They're just another person at the end of the phone. I can speak to them. It's fine. And if I have any questions, I can say, I'm really sorry, I don't know this, but I will come back to you on it. I mean, there's no problem in you saying to a client, I'm sorry, I don't know this. I'll have to come back to you on that.
Yeah, definitely. Whereas some other people without your experience of a call center might fall apart at that point. And go,
that's very true. So it's all dependent on the person, and having that conversation with your manager and say, actually, I don't feel that comfortable maybe speaking to a client as yet. And they can go, okay, that's fine. As long as they're aware, then they can go from there.
Yeah, because one thing that I have said quite frequently is that writing websites isn't just about dealing with code. It's also about dealing with the people who work on the projects or use the projects on a daily basis. You're writing code for humans. You have to interact with those humans, and not all of us can do it very well.
Yeah.
And I think from your background, being in a call center, you have that talent, that ability to do that, which is actually quite a very unique and desirable skill in web development, because you've had experience talking to clients in many different situations, I'm sure, some friendly and some unfriendly, and you've been able to hold your own with that. I mean, working in a call center for that long, I would imagine you've had a whole varied array of experiences, and you've built your experience base up on that, and you know how to handle situations that become sort of hot or what have you. So I would imagine that was a very sort of like desirable skill to have when you had that interview.